What's going on, folks? It's time to do some stand-up philosophy. Today I'm going to be talking about feminism, particularly third wave feminism. There was once a point in my life where I actually considered myself a feminist. And I still consider myself a feminist in a sense where I believe that women should have an equal right in society, should have an equal voice, they should be able to vote. I believe they should be equal under the law. What I don't believe is that women are equal to men. I would say that men and women are complementary and not equal. We are both good at certain things. Women are great at caregiving, nurturing, they're empathetic, compassionate. They see a puppy and they want to take care of it right away, and they have that innate nurturing instinct that men don't possess. And men are better at other things. We're stronger, we're smarter. I would say men are more creative, men are more pragmatic, industrious. And I think the two energies complement each other. And what's being pushed nowadays through the media and through this third wave feminism, which I don't even call third wave feminism. It's not feminism anymore. It's I call it butchism. Let me elaborate. Where feminism lost me is when they started saying that women shouldn't be mothers anymore. I would say the most important profession in society, the most important occupation in any society is that of a mother. Motherhood is what makes a society flourish. Where feminism lost me was when they started pushing the idea of women shouldn't be mothers anymore. It's a feminist idea. I would say in the last 50 years it's been being pushed on this idea has been being pushed onto women through the media. You don't see any more female mother archetypes on TV like you used to. You don't see that woman with an apron on, cooking a roast beef, changing a diaper, doing stuff that mothers normally do. And what's being pushed is this archetype of like a woman warrior, like Wonder Woman and Lara Croft and that chick from the Hunger Games with the bow and arrow and Ronda Rousey. I mean, Ronda Rousey is the badass MMA fighter. I mean, she's a great fighter, but she fights women. So the point I'm getting at is these archetypes, this Wonder Woman and Superwoman and archetypes you see with this masculine, kick-ass woman that's a warrior and she fights and she beats up men and groups of people. This is all mythological. This is all Hollywood. These are fictitious characters. I think the liberals they lost touch with reality. They need to take a red pill. You also have other non-fictitious female role models, like you have like Oprah or Ellen. Ellen is a lesbian. Oprah is a childless, really wealthy media executive. Shows like Murphy Brown, and you have shows like Sex in the City, where you have these middle-aged women, unmarried, career-oriented. They're just running around in these TV shows, these women in Hollywood that are being portrayed with the masculine attributes, like the chick from the new Star Wars. I forget her name, but the leading role in the new Star Wars, the woman, and she is like comes across as a person who knows like mechanics and electronics and is way superior to any guy in those respective fields. It's nice to look at and it's fun to watch, but we got to realize that it's Hollywood. That's not real life. So no, I think women are actually being misled. It's so nowadays in 2017, actually in the last, I would say 30 or 40 years, It's been preached to them that motherhood is unglamorous, that motherhood is not important, that motherhood is it's not something that a young woman should strive for. You had women in the 50s, their main goal was just to be a mother and a caretaker and just to provide for the family, and they just want to be there for the family and nurture the family and take care of the kids. And they wanted to do that, and they were happy to do so. Correlation doesn't mean causation, but there's a strong correlation between third wave feminism and violent crime, the amount of dysfunctional people in the world, criminals, terrorists. Women are told that they could have it all. They could have a career, they could be a mother, they don't need a man. They're being told that a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle, sayings like that, and you got it's just not reality. The absence of the mother and the mothering energy, the nurturing energy in our society is causing a collapse. Women, they're giving up motherhood for bullshit jobs. Now, what is a bullshit job? I'll be the first to admit my job is a bullshit job. I DJ. Now, the definition of a bullshit job, I got this actually from another video. There was a video by David Graeber, Graeber. What a bullshit job is, a job where if everybody in that profession was to go on strike, what kind of detriment would it cause society? A bullshit job, if it disappeared, nothing would change. Jobs that aren't bullshit are the ones that are critical for our way of life, our day-to-day living. Those are the real jobs. Those are the jobs that aren't bullshit. Any other job is a bullshit job. Women are giving up their motherhood for bullshit jobs, doing jobs in retail and doing clerical jobs, or in media, fashion, in cosmetics, or entertainment. If she wants to be an actress or she wants to be a psychologist. Psychologist, I would say, is a bullshit job because most of it is based on mythology. A psychiatrist is an actual medical doctor, so I would say that's a doctor. But a psychologist, it's really difficult to say. I would say that's a bullshit job. Nutritionist. Do I really need somebody with a 4-year degree to tell me I need to eat more vegetables? Seriously, that's a bullshit job also. To some extent, the case of motherhood, you could blame it on capitalism. See, I'm a capitalist, but I think a lot of the problem with with women foregoing motherhood is the fact that there's no money to be made. It's kind of like a thankless profession in a sense where in a capitalist society, everything revolves around money. The value of every profession, unfortunately, revolves around money. And what that does is that screws up the whole social dynamics of everything. Because you could be a douchebag, you could be an asshole, but if you're a moneymaker, a capitalist society embraces you. I'm not saying that you can't make money doing them. You could make a tremendous amount of money doing these bullshit jobs. But the fact is, these bullshit jobs, they don't contribute. If they were to disappear, they wouldn't be missed, basically. So their contribution to society is negligible. I made this chart here to illustrate what I'm talking about here. This is basically a bunch of professions that I've written down that represents society as a whole. And right in the center is the motherhood. Mothers are right in the middle. They are the most important job in society. They are right here, motherhood. I should just give them a nice heart. That sucks. But anyway, yeah. They're the ones who bring up the children, who based on the mother's performance, they end up either in this first circle, like the first loop around there, I put a bunch of jobs that I think are very important non-bullshit jobs, like truckers. The truckers are extremely important because they're the ones who distribute resources. Farmers raise our food. The garbage collectors. Garbage collectors are extremely important. There was actually a time once back in the 1980s. There was a time where the New York City sanitation workers, they went on strike. The garbage collectors went on strike. Within a week, the whole city was in panic. There was like garbage everywhere, rats everywhere, roaches. In 1 week, the city basically came to a standstill because the garbage workers went on strike. So sanitation workers are extremely important. The fruit picker, that immigrant fruit picker that's working for minimum wage, if that person didn't do that job that he's doing, you wouldn't be eating that apple. You wouldn't be able to buy the fruits in your market. These are very important. You know, then there's like the obvious, the doctor, the dentist, the food service, that guy that wakes up every morning before sunrise, that goes to the bakery to bake you the bread for the day. That's not a bullshit job. That's a job that society needs. Architects, engineers, teachers extremely important. That's traditionally a female profession. Teachers, nurses, some manufacturing, not all manufacturing, but manufacturing of stuff that society actually needs. And, not manufacturers that manufacture stuff like fidget spinners and silly stuff like that. Manufacturers like auto manufacturers, the petroleum industry right now, we need the fuel, the refineries that refine the fuel. You have the construction workers that build the buildings and build the pavers that keep the road safe. Cops are important. Cops that keep the peace. I mean, the cops, I know they get a lot of flack because a lot of times they abuse their power. Yes, they do. But they are extremely important. They keep the peace. The utility workers that keep the lights on, that keep the power coming. The ones that keep the grid operating, the power grid, extremely important. Now, without these people in the middle, the jobs on the outside of this circle right here, these jobs are the bullshit jobs. A blogger, a vlogger, a YouTuber, a fragrance reviewer, a comedian, a salesperson, it's bullshit. Talk show host, bullshit. Actor, actress, musician, rapper, dancer, a house flipper. Now, there's something I really despise about house flippers for some strange reason, because they're basically just buying a resource, holding on to it, and then flipping it for more money. They don't really add anything to society, and they're just they're trying to make easy money. And it's weird that it's weird that there's these TV shows with these house flippers that are really popular, and then it's like everybody wants to be like them because they're making this money, and they're like, oh wow, look, I bought a house for $150 and I just painted it and then I sold it for $250, and everybody's like, wow, easy money. And that's the problem with society now. We embrace people who earn money. We don't embrace people who contribute to our day-to-day life. Like the concept of celebrity. I got a whole nother video that I want to do on just the celebrity stuff. I think I would save that for another video. But who do we celebrate in society? I mean, on one side you have a doctor, right? You have a doctor. He comes out of medical school and he has student loans he has to pay, and he leads a pretty modest life for about 10 years until he starts making it, and then starts making a decent salary, and he lives a good modest life. But an actor like George Clooney, who plays a doctor, who's not even a real doctor, he just plays the role of a doctor, can make millions and millions of dollars a year. Is the actor more important than the doctor? Obviously not. The actor is just playing a role. But that actor is going to make, millions of dollars a year, like George Clooney when he was working for that TV show. What was he? When he played a doctor, he's making millions of dollars a year, while a normal doctor leads a good but modest lifestyle because, let's say a regular doctor would make $100,000 a year, and an actor would make, $2 million a year. We embrace people that earn money, but we don't embrace people that actually do the work necessary for us to lead the lifestyle that we lead. As far as mothers, and a lot of mothers, what they're doing is they're leaving motherhood and they're taking bullshit jobs. sales, fashion, cosmetics, clerical jobs, talk show host. How is, like, Oprah, who's a talk show host, how is she more important than the person who cleans bathrooms? The person who cleans bathrooms prevents disease. It gives you a nice bathroom experience. And when you have a nice clean bathroom, what does Oprah do for society? She's an influencer. Just because she's wealthy and she is successful, people embrace her, and she is able to influence people to buy things, like buy books and buy products, and because she's an influencer, she's getting paid. She's a billionaire, while the person cleaning the bathrooms is working for minimum wage, most likely. There's so many different examples of this in our society where the importance of the job does not correlate at all with the amount of money to be earned from that job. Bloggers, vloggers, YouTubers, if they all disappeared, I mean, not all YouTubers. There's some YouTube channels, like maybe less than 1% of YouTube channels out there that actually give you useful information, that give you information like the DIY channels and the life hack channels that help you actually give you information and teach you certain things that help you in your day-to-day life. But 99.9% of YouTubers and vloggers and bloggers are all bullshit. Fragrance reviewers are bullshit. Perfumers are bullshit. Because if they went away, if the perfumer went away, what would society do? Would society crumble because there's no perfume? There's no cologne? No. The whole entire entertainment industry is bullshit. Hollywood, TV, the media is bullshit. Like sports stars, athletes. Are they really important? Are they critical to our lifestyle, to our society, to our lifestyle They're not. Sports stars are not important. But they make a ton of money and people embrace them. People look up to them. And they are influencers. But what they do is they basically, like in the case of basketball, you count which team puts the ball through the hoop more times than the other team. It's basically that simple. When that game is over, something has happened, which I'm going to save that. I'm going to save the whole sports thing for my video. I'm going to do another video on bullshit jobs. So these mothers, the most important profession, the mothers, are giving up the motherhood and they're taking jobs over here, around this circle right there. So what you're doing is there's a collapse now. There's a collapse right in the center of society. Mothers are Xing out. Mothers are disappearing. They're saying, I want to be a part-time mother. I don't want to be a full-time mother. I want a career. I want to be like Oprah. I want to shake my ass like Beyonce. I want to shake my ass like Britney Spears. And the whole world is going to adore me because I shake my ass like they do. And then I want to sexualize myself. I want to exploit myself to make money as opposed to being a mother. And this is the sad truth of what feminism also promotes. Feminism promotes women to take jobs, because you don't see, aside from nursing and aside from teaching, all the other critical jobs, you don't see any women in those professions. Or if you do, you see very few. And if there are women in those professions, they are not good at them. When I see a female cop, I cringe. If there was a strong criminal, I know for a fact that she can't subdue that criminal. You don't see female engineers. You don't see female, even food service workers. You don't see female chefs like you see men chefs. So all the work, the manufacturing and everything, basically the construction workers, everybody, all the buildings are built by men. And that hasn't changed at all. What has changed is there's been an increase of the amount of bullshit jobs in society. And these bullshit jobs, they don't do anything. And what's going on is there's a collapse going on with all this. And critical services in the middle are being neglected. And because mothers are not being mothers, children that are coming up are ending up in this section over here. I don't know if you can see it, yeah. Because all the way outside of all these circles are the dysfunctional human beings. the ones that can't hold down a job, the unemployed, the criminals, the drug addicts, the terrorists, the lawyers. Kind of joking about the lawyers. Well, actually, no. But yeah, you have on the outskirts of society is where you have the dysfunctional human beings that can't even hold down a job, and they can't benefit society if they wanted to. So what's happening is you're having a lot of kids that are ending up in the dysfunctional region out here. And that's pushing down this way. It's pushing this way into this void where motherhood is, and it's collapsing. And the thing about it is we don't notice it's collapsing because it takes a few generations. It's not something that you could pick up on because the slow, steady deterioration, slow, steady destructive process, you know? This whole feminism thing also changed the dynamics of male to female relationships. And because people, they're just not getting married like they used to. Actually, I'm going to save that for another video. That's my problem with feminism. Motherhood is the pinnacle of being feminine. That is the ultimate in femininity. This crosses all cultural boundaries, all racial boundaries, all regional, ethnical boundaries. Motherhood is the pinnacle of being feminine. And third wave feminism is against motherhood. So how could something that's against motherhood, which is the pinnacle of being feminine, be considered feminism? That's my gripe. It's not feminism. I call it butchism. What they're saying is don't be female. You know, women want to be entrepreneurs. They want to be all these jobs that aren't critical jobs. They're actually bullshit jobs. Newscaster, bullshit job. Sportscaster, bullshit job. Actor, actress, CEO of a handbag company. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. Those aren't critical jobs. But motherhood is a critical job for our society. It's extremely critical. So, I mean, as a solution to this issue that I posed, because I don't like just posing issues, it sounds like a rant, without coming up with a solution. We have to increase the value of motherhood in society. And we have to try to get that nuclear family strong again. It's been torn apart by this liberalism that's going on. The nuclear family is just not there anymore. Once upon a time, like maybe I'd say 60 years ago, parents were raising good citizens. What the parents are raising now, because they're getting divorced, there's single parenthood going on, and mothers are too busy with their careers to take care of the kids. What's happening is instead of beautiful citizens like beautiful flowers coming up, we're raising weeds. Destructive weeds. Terrorists. We're raising school shooters. We're raising criminals. We're raising pedophiles, and all kinds of crazy, nasty people are coming up. And not just men, I'm talking women. Women are nasty nowadays. Women are worse than men nowadays. It all boils down to what we view as successful. As a capitalist society, the only thing we view as successful is the money earner. And that's coming from a capitalist. I consider myself a capitalist. We can't have uncontrolled capitalism running rampant. That's my solution. But I am a capitalist. I believe capitalism is the best way. Competition is good. You know, how many guys out there would die for their mother? Exactly. But we have to show that we value mothers. We have to show that we value the nuclear family. We have to show, and we have to stop incentivizing divorce. Women are getting incentives to actually divorce and break up the family unit. Let's not incentivize divorce, and let's incentivize the nuclear family. That's my solution. Anyway, what do I know? I'm just an asshole with a camera. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.